This is the Hololive construction server, and today we will be taking a look at the GAWR GURA themed town, Chumbucket, a place filled with shark and aquatic themed builds, all themed after Hololive's GAWR GURA. So Chumbucket is a town located at the coast of a region occupied by 5 different Hololive myth towns, and as such it is situated in a generally tight space. But they have a lot of impressive builds, and they were founded as far back as 2021. And so after years of putting out all of these different creations, I thought it would be appropriate to finally show things off. For starters, the waypoint of Chumbucket is here at this giant Gura statue. And you can really see this place really was founded in 2021, because that's an Among Us meme. This here is a giant statue of the famed biggest VTuber in the world, Shark Girl GAWR GURA. It's a very cute statue, and it's also not the only statue that you're going to see today. We're going to start off looking at things in the north over here. You are greeted by this giant pixel sign. Yep, a giant sign with just the GAWR GURA channel. It's very, very accurate. It's so accurate because it's so big, and they get to put all the pixels in because it's so big. It's also situated next to this giant trident, which also appears to be stabbing the skeleton of a giant fish, whale, dinosaur. Backtracking a little bit over here, and we have this pagoda, which you can find a GAWR GURA NPC in her Atlantean outfit, and you can actually interact with it. Around the server you're gonna find handmade map arts. Typically it's portraying either maybe official artworks or sometimes fan artist works, which we're not gonna really look at extensively just because, you know, artwork and permissions and such. Over here, you can view on the opposite side of the pagoda, we have some pixel arts. This one in the center is a reference to Gura's first, I guess, original loading screen. And then this one is portraying the small Walfy Gura. Yeah, that's cute. The builds lining this beachfront are mostly private properties, so we're not really going to take a big look at them. You know, we got some tiki huts and homes and palm trees here and there, large-sized birthday cake. Got a public enchanting station, just a bunch more houses here. There's this decapitated Gura head filled with decapitated spider heads. And then over here, we got a Gura Kirby, but also you're gonna notice there is some Kiara-themed items over in the distance. Chumbucket is situated in very close proximity to other myth towns. So maybe throughout the video you're gonna see other myth members. Flying back north here, we're gonna notice there are a number of very tall buildings. This one over here is giving me like a hotel vibe to it. This one over here has a lot of end stone and some variation greener toned blocks to it. This one has the American question mark flag. It could be like a town hall or a courthouse or a parliament of some sort. This one is glass and twisted. I think it's a very cool shape. I've always wanted to kind of do something like this. And then hovering next to all of these towers is this big spaceship. The Solstice, I suppose that's what it's called. I don't know what the reference is, but it's certainly a big ship. And then there's also this tall thing. Looks like it was pulled right out of New York City. It could be actually, it might actually be. You may also have taken notice of the expensive and fancy-looking roads that line the place. Very cool. Over here you can see two different small Gura statues. Dino Gura and a Santa Gura. Business in the front, party in the back. And as this place is situated next to the water, we're going to continue around the coast where we can observe some more things. We can observe the different methods of which people have decided to make their living spaces, ranging from bungalows of varying sizes and homes of varying sizes on the land. Next to this intricate private garden, actually, we see a glimpse of the Mori Calliope region, which we will not look into, but there's also this monument here dedicated to all of Hololive myth. Something that I forgot to note earlier is that this Gura pixel art is actually red Gura on this side, and blue Gura on this side. Amogus. Amogus. A lot of different water crafts in the water. Yes, there's certainly a lot of water, and we are going to look into the water in a bit, but we also have to look at these impressive builds over here. I believe these are two separate builds, the first one being this lighthouse. It's a very nice girth, nice height, nice tip. Now this massive build over here is actually the local train station. It is very intricately designed, fully functional, and uses the hollow drive rail system. So it has a sort of automated means of stopping you at a station and then sending you off if you don't get off your minecart. The build has a numerous amount of details to it. You can see the various textures, the diversity in shape, and it's just a wonderful build to look at. Not to mention the trident poking out with this shark. And spiraling around it is this aura that happens to be in the colors of the Hololive myth members. I know it took like a dozen people to pump this one out, and there's actually a time-lapse video showing the entire build process for this, which I will link in the description of this video. But wait, you might have seen this big project here on the side. What could this be? This is one of multiple Gura-themed watercrafts. I am not very informed on boats, but this boat has planes. It has planes. It has Gura planes. And look, it's facing off against a Kiara ship. It's like, oh, something. Just bring your battleship to the Itasha shop, and we'll get it wrapped. And you know what? Gura got two boats. So there's also this one over here. Just the number of nice-looking builds that we got in the area. Oh, well, wait, that is a Gura with a light stick for a second tail. Flying around, we got some planes, some pixel arts, and going around the coast, we can see some more private residents of varying sizes. You can see that people were being very creative in how to use the limited space they had. But also we have this, a GAWR GURA bust. It's a very big bust, quite a generous bust. I believe all of the myth towns, and probably some other Hololive towns, do have these busts. I think they were made with like MMD or something like that. Yeah, these things are massive and pretty darn accurate. And then joining some of these regions with private residences, you also have this big bridge. Oh, this big bridge joining us from the south all the way back to the train station in the center. There's also this additional pantheon here. And then if we go further west, you're actually going to see bits of Marine Town, which we'll look at probably at a later date if people want me to check that out. But it looks like I've been avoiding something. I've been avoiding something lurking in the waters, because this town actually has an entire submerged section. So the entrance to this place is actually over here. We got this staircase going down. Oh, what's this? I can't breathe underwater? No need to worry, because this place actually has conduit power going all around. Yes, this part of Gura Town is also filled with private residences, making the most of its limited space by embracing the nature of the Hololive talent being represented with underwater building. I believe some of these places use airlocks, and others just fill everything with water, because conduit power lets you breathe underwater. You can also see the underwater tunnel used for the rail network going into the big temple project that we looked at earlier. Looking around, they got some domes, they got some underwater vehicles. We all live in a yellow submarine. And with that, we've looked over pretty much all the different builds here at Chumbucket, but this isn't the end for Gura-themed builds. And teleporting here, oh, where could we be? We've teleported to... I can't read that. Teleported to an underground sanctuary. It's very intricate, and it's certainly nice and bright, but where are we? Well, why don't we take a look outside? Great googly moogly, what could this massive project be? This here is the lost city of Atlantis. The lost city of Atlantis, peeking just out of the water, fully flooded but with all of its buildings intact. The central building being the peak of this lost civilization. There are airships and floating islands and a giant ring of supposed energy, as well as maybe a dozen or so floating faces, probably ready to shoot laser beams. Yes, that's right, if Gura wasn't going to make a full-scale Atlantis, then her fans were going to do it. This here build was a reference to the Lost City of Atlantis movie, made by those people that also did Treasure Planet, I believe. I am assuming here that this is an original build, and yes, it's quite impressive. And with that, we've reached the end of our itinerary. And if you liked what you saw today, maybe consider supporting GAWR GURA. And if this is the sort of Minecraft experience that you're looking for, HLC is public, so you're always free to stop by and check out all the different towns and all the different builds, and maybe build something cool on your own. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tour video. You know, when I first began doing tour videos of these towns, I was always met with the thought of all of these towns being active, ongoing projects, because they're made in support of the various talents, and the fandoms stay active. And I was wondering, when would a town ever be in a state where I could record it without missing out on any future changes? And then the unfortunate answer to that, which I've been discovering in recent months, was that it would be after a talent has left or graduated. I mean, that's not to say that activity will be guaranteed to stop here, and perhaps I should be more optimistic about these things. But the existence and the tangibility of this massive project certainly serves as a reminder of the impact that Gura had on this side of the internet. I guess at the end of the day, the only thing left to say is, love your Oshi when they're there, continue loving them when they're gone, cherish the memories that you have of them, treasure the moments that you still have with them. And for me, I will fondly look back at my memories featuring GAWR GURA.